How's it going, everyone? My name is Derek Afasi. I'm the owner of Afasi Financial Group, and today's topic I want to discuss with you transfer 401k to IRA and what you should know. Now, an individual most likely is accustomed to a 401k account because they worked for a private institution, and this employer said, okay, Mr. Employee, we're going to offer you some sort of retirement account to work for our company. When working for our company, we'll be able to offer you a retirement account that you could essentially place money into, grow this account, and then utilize it for retirement. It's very simple. A 401k account is just kind of think of it like a bucket of money designated specifically for retirement. And because it's designated specifically for retirement, you have certain advantages and disadvantages. Now, when it starts coming, there's certain aspects of a 401k or certain things that could happen to this employee that makes them eligible to take this 401k and transfer it into an IRA contract. So why exactly would the things I'm going to talk about is why exactly would someone want to do that? What are some of the benefits of doing that? And how exactly they could retire more successfully when getting set up in the correct IRA contract. Only if it correlates to your goals. Understand that your goals are going to be different than many others. If somebody's giving you that recommendation, it might not pertain specifically to you, your family, your goals. So just always be educated on every step of the process. Now what happens is typically this individual was working for the company. They were taking money, placing it into a type of account known as a 401k, and the employer was giving something known as an employer match. So if you were going and this person was making $100,000 a year and they put in 5% and the match was 5%, well then you understand that $10,000 would accumulate into this bucket of money and it would go right into the bucket, and depending upon however well the performance of the mutual funds that this bucket was tied to would make this bucket grow larger at the end of the year or smaller at the end of the year. So all because you're placing more money into your 401k account does not mean that it's guaranteed to not be further reduced. If you go and you had a 401k account that had $1 million and then you experienced 2008 where the average portfolio lost 57%, well now your new starting value, your new starting portfolio would be $430,000 that next year. It didn't matter how much money you placed into that account. It went by however well the performance was. So with the 401ks, the negatives with the 401ks is there's no set floor on how much you could lose. Just like there's no set ceiling on how much you could gain. But when you start going closer to those retirement years, you start going into your 50s, you're going into your 60s, you understand, I want to eventually pull money from this account. That's where you want to make sure that you're taking the correct steps and you're utilizing the best strategies to accomplish those goals successfully. And you're just making sure that you're going on a conservative mindset with the correct portions of money, and you're designating the correct portions of money into a type of IRA contract to accomplish those specific goals. So if you have an individual that typically, they just don't really know what's going on, they just kind of always accumulated their money into a 401k account, maybe they just chose random mutual funds, and now they have this decent bucket that's sitting there. And this person might be in their 50s, they might be over the age of 59 and a half, whatever that is, and they're looking to retire in the next couple of years. Well, if this person leaves their money in the 401k account, they become susceptible to something known as reverse dollar cost averaging. And what this does is the 401k account is tied to mutual funds, right? Well, with mutual funds, there's a specific negative with mutual funds, and it's known as a fee. You have a 1% fee on average in those types of mutual funds. On top of it, you have miscellaneous 401k fees. Or you might have an advisor that was recommended to you that's basically monitoring this account, and they're charging you an advisor fee, also known as a wrap fee. So on average, you might be paying 1.4%, but typically, let's just say this conservatively, that wrap fee is 1%, or the miscellaneous 401k fees and the wrap fee is 1% altogether. So that means right out the gate, before you actually start pulling any money, your mutual funds have to perform better than 2% just to get to zero, just to get the break-even point at 0%. So the first negative is the mutual fund related fees. The second negative might be the 401k fees or the advisor fees. The third negative is the potential downward market loss. Like I mentioned to you, in 2008, the average portfolio lost 57%. That's a very realistic scenario. It could definitely happen again. Now, maybe it might not be 57%, maybe it might just be 10%. But understand, if that person loses 10%, they don't just lose 10%. They lose 10% plus the 1% plus the 1%, so they're already down 12%. If this individual was looking to eventually pull this 401k out for retirement, let's say they're unsure of how much money to pull out, maybe they want to choose 5% to pull out. Well, in a situation where you just had $100,000, this person would have pulled out $5,000 that year, but they would have ended up losing 5 plus 10 plus 1 plus 1, $17,000 worth of value. So now their new starting account value would be $83,000, not the $100,000. So now when they pull at 5%, it's going to be off of a smaller number, but you still have a reverse dollar cost averaging effect. And the point that I'm trying to make is losses hurt far worse than gains could possibly help you. And especially in retirement, because you don't have the long time horizon to recapture everything. And when you have a constant negative, that's going to act as the power of compound interest in a negative aspect. And that's essentially what reverse dollar cost averaging does. So why am I even talking about this? Well, you could eliminate that reverse dollar cost averaging altogether by utilizing a transfer from a 401k account into an IRA account. Now you have specific types of IRA contracts that are meant for the individual that says, you know what, I'm not really sure if I want to eventually pull money from this account. I just know that I want this money to gain. I want this account to gain whenever the market goes up and not lose anything whenever the market goes down. I don't want to pay mutual fund related fees. I don't want to pay advisor fees. I do not want to have that downward market loss there. And that's a type of IRA contract that's set up with a type of insurance company. So essentially, if let's say you had $100,000, let's say $1 million, rather than go and play that risky game with the 401k and the volatility of the market, anytime the market drops down, you're actually getting hit that much harder. It's just like saying, if you had an account that you, let's say an account lost 50% the first year and then gained 50% the second year for $1 million, what's that account going to be after the second year? Someone look at that and be like, oh, okay, it's even, right? Because down 50 plus 50, that's even. No, if you actually do the math, it'll go down 50%, that'll be 500,000. Then it goes up 50%, you're only sitting at 750,000. So something with that scenario, just a very clean-cut scenario, that person would be down $250,000 less. Even though it showed the same loss as it did the gain, it was because losses hurt far worse than gains help you. So I just want you to really have that mindset going into it. With the IRA contracts, you could essentially roll it over. It would essentially take your $1 million in that same type of bucket scenario, but now we're putting a little bit of a lid over it. And we utilize this through indexing strategies, through insurance companies. So if after the first year, let's say the market went up, you're going to receive a gain. They're going to open up the lid, pour the gain inside. Let's say the market crashed, lost 57% the next year in year 2. Well, you already have that gain is ratcheted in there. So let's say if it had a 10% gain, $1.1 million is ratcheted in there. Let's say you have minus 57%, minus 10%, minus 12%. Let's say if that happened for 3 straight years. Most likely it's not going to happen, but what if it did? Because there's no floor on your potential losses. Well, in that scenario, with these types of IRA contracts, you would gain 0%, 0%, 0%. Then the next year, if it gained, let's say 5%, well, then you would receive the gain of 5% on that 1.1 million. So it just allows you to have that safe consistency, that safe peace of mind, knowing that your account's going to either grow or flatline, year by year. We're eliminating mutual fund related fees. We do not have any advisor fees or miscellaneous 401k or IRA fees, and we're eliminating downward market loss. Now, that last aspect that I talked about was income, right? What happens if somebody says, no, you know what, I understand, I'm 60 years old and I have $500,000 that's sitting in a 401k account right now, and I want to go and basically leverage this money at age 66, exactly at age 66, person 60 years old right now. They want to make sure that they're receiving exactly $20,000 per year of income. They understand that at age 66, maybe they're going to receive $30,000 of income from Social Security, maybe from a pension plan, they'll receive another $30,000, and that's $60,000, and then they have a gap of $20,000 that they want to receive from their 401k accounts. We could go and show you strategies on how to leverage the correct portion, the correct dollar amount of that 401k account to produce that $20,000 income that is contractually guaranteed through a specific type of insurance company. So it's like that same type of IRA contract that every year that you wait, your account's going to gain flatline, gain flatline, gain flatline. But on top of it, we throw a secondary, it's known as an income rider. It's a secondary type of guarantee known as an income rider that will produce lifetime income specifically at your designated age of 66 or 64 or 67, whatever that number is. But understand that there's so many different tools available to you, so many different financial products available to you so that you could accomplish those goals successfully. And so when you're doing the transfer, you want to make sure that you understand what your goal is, and that's one of the things that we try to help you out with. Our 1-800 number is 1-800-566-1002. We're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we utilize something that no other financial agency has. It's known as the Retire Sharp Planning System. So when calling in, we have a specialist that's talking with you, and you say, I'm possibly thinking about transferring my 401k into an IRA account. We'll designate you to a specialist. And that specialist is going to be asking you a slew of questions. We're going to see, okay, what exactly are your goals? What is the purpose of this? Is it for income? Is it for safe growth? If what you're currently doing with your 401k is going to accomplish your goal, we're going to tell you, listen, don't make any changes. There's no reason in the world to make any changes with what what you want to have accomplished in retirement. If you could do that, there's no reason to change. But for many times, you have certain gaps that do exist, certain gaps that somebody just wants to know, okay, how exactly can I be confident in retirement? What exactly are the best strategies? What exactly are the best products? And understand that it's on a state-specific basis. Depending upon whatever area you're calling in and the amount of money that you're looking as either an income goal or basically a safe accumulation goal, you have certain contracts out there, certain IRA contracts that they essentially bid on your business to make sure that they could give you, okay, maybe somebody has a more favorable contract for a female age 60, as opposed to another company, another type of product might be more favorable towards a male age 65. So it all is going to be whatever your specific situation is. That's where you leverage all the top carriers, the top contracts and strategies in your specific area and correlating specifically to your goals to make sure that you're getting the most optimal result. With this Retire Sharp planning system, we go through, on average, over 1,200 different scenarios to make sure that we're constantly covering our bases, and we're constantly utilizing a system of checks and balances so that with pure confidence, we could say, hey, listen, this is going to be your top 3 scenarios. Out of these 1,200, these are all the products, this is everything. Our recommendations A, B, C. These are the pros and cons of each. This is the one that we recommend. And this is why we are A+ rated on the Better Business Bureau, why we have a lot of national volume, and why we do offer 24/7 customer service is because to make sure that we're handling that proper volume and we're always having satisfied customers. We've never had complaints. We've always had very good reviews. One of the things that I highly recommend is subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Retire Sharp. What happens is every week we try to put up new videos, new content that will resonate with you guys and just give you some free education. And from there, if you like what you hear, if you want to hear a little bit more specifically to your goals, to your situation, and you think this might be of value to you, then obviously give us a call. 1-800-566-1002. Once again, my name is Derek Afasi. And I want to thank you very much for watching this video, and please be on the lookout for some of our newest content. Thanks.